Hello, Jane Miller here, Find Your Encore, and welcome to your workbook walkthrough. And hopefully you have downloaded the introduction workbook portion from the website. If not, listen along and we'll get you all caught up here. And again, we're all here because whether you're a baby boomer or someone else looking for an encore, it's designed for those of us who struggle with untapped potential, unfulfilled purpose, who don't want time commitments or to run short on cash. So in this course, we learn to live a life filled with purpose, joy. We learn to use our strengths and our talents, while though ensuring time freedom and financial confidence. And I just love this because the workbooks and the whole course has easy to use checklists and blueprints and a lot of other tools so that you all Encore creators come away with a step-by-step personalized plan just for you that reveals your perfect path to your Encore. So just as a review, Module 1, coming up after the introduction, you will really find clarity. You'll begin to create goals and vision, and you'll begin to craft an awesome Encore plan. And when moving on to Module 2, this is where we're going to really make some decisions and really commit to our life and our goals and our vision and our plan. We're going to launch this plan into action. We're going to be persistent and consistent with it. Module 3 then will help us to work on actually living this Encore more fully. We're going to master our mindset, our self-image. We're going to alter any paradigms that need a little adjustment to those that will serve you. Then we're also going to optimize your productivity, right? So that we can really catapult and realize results. And finally, in Module 4, this is going to be an ongoing module for everyone, for all of us. And here's where we really help you to love and celebrate your Encore, that you've done all this hard work on planning. We're going to multiply those results, but more so, we're going to work on putting things on an autopilot. So instead of working hard and struggling, we're going to have ease and flow. So great. Our introduction, and let me start by talking a little bit about purpose. And you know, whether you're planning for your new chapter for retirement, your career, maybe you're wanting to start a new business or a side hustle, you might be looking to find or repair a relationship, release weight, anything really that you've been dreaming of. And we're so glad that you're here with us at Find Your Encore to do that. So you have a dream inside of you, and know that you do have the ability to make it happen. You really do. Imagine finally believing in yourself, and imagine stepping up to the plate with a coach and a mentor by your side so that you can step by step take a full swing at this life that you're working on. So let's start with a little bit about purpose. You know, and humans aren't alone in having a purpose, are they? Everything in nature is always expanding and evolving. You know, a bee wants to pollinate the flowers in the trees, and a plant gives us oxygen. A cloud forms to produce corn. Talk about purpose. But unlike plants, you know, and these other living creatures, we don't have to accept the environment that we're put in, right? We have the unique ability to create our reality. Good Lord gave us free will. How are we going to use it? So instead of like all the other animals and plants, they have a specific purpose, and it's embedded in them. It's just what happens. You have a unique purpose, right? And it's up to us to discover and live it out. Problem is, we get so bogged down with daily activities and to do and obligations that, after a while, our awareness of our purpose turns really cloudy. When you don't know your purpose, though, there's some consequences, aren't there? Right. You might have a continuing sense of frustration. Is this all there is? You might feel like you're somewhat off track or kind of out of sync with your inner self. So make sure that you're clear on this. Some people confuse goals and desires with life purpose, but there's really pretty big distinction. And, over the course of your life, you're going to have a consistent flow of dreams and goals and desires, but your purpose is deeper. Your purpose is more permanent than any goal. It's really your reason for living, right? And the purpose is it to grow and find out what that is and to serve others. Yeah. Let's say you've always wanted to write a book, and one day you set a goal to do that, and this excites you because you want to make a little money, you want to be well known, change people's lives, build a legacy. And even though writing a book or even this course that I've done is a terrific accomplishment, it doesn't give you the reason for getting up in the morning, for staying alive. That's what a purpose does. Purpose gives you a reason to get up in the morning every day of your life. And this course is so great because you're going to work through that and uncover just what that is. Now, is it something about love? I mean, people who find or create their purpose, they use emotional energy, mental energy, creative energy to develop their skills, to develop the interest that they love. When you give yourself to something that you really love, it brings forth your spirit, right? It makes you happier and more fulfilled and really start to feel in sync with your inner self. And what's more, it makes your everyday life, it takes on meaning so that you can share your gift with the world. So if that's love, I'm all in. Now, action is where we get the results. And I know it's not always easy to think your way into finding your purpose. I spent many, many years and a lot of money working on this. So I found that when you're too much in your head, you might have to bull your way through it. You might have to act your way into it. But the more we act and the more we dip our toe and we try things, the more we get clear on things. And that, again, is the reason for Find Your Encore, this online course to help you get clear. So while you're working on discovering your purpose, be sure that whatever you're doing right now, you're doing it the best you can. So whatever it is you're working on, give it all that you've got. This is going to go a long way. And instead of worrying if something's going to work out, if you should try it or not, or maybe I shouldn't do this because I won't make any money out of it, just start trying things. Just dip your toe to see where it leads you. This will help you weed things out, but more importantly, it'll help you get out of your own way, to get out of your mind. And really this idea of doing whatever you're doing the best you can, this experience of doing a great job or trying something new really is its own reward. And you will gain clarity through this process of exploring things, seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. And here's a side note, really guard and stop wasting your time, right? I used to investigate things that really didn't interest me just because someone said, would you like to try this? How about this idea? Here's an opportunity. I'd go to presentations and that I really had no interest in, kind of just to be nice. Don't do that. That is a waste of your precious time. And through this course, you're going to find those things that interest you, that are your values to your core, and you'll immediately be able to look at an opportunity or an idea and say yes or no. How freeing will that be? So do when you feel a pull towards an activity or an idea or an opportunity that does involve something that you love or value, pursue it fully and vigorously. And then pay attention to the feedback you're feeling along the way. It'll go a long way in helping you weed things out. So think about this Encore as kind of a magnet, right? That steadily pulls you towards it. There was a Sufi spiritual leader, and he described purpose in this way, and I want to read it to you. And one may suddenly think during the night, I must go to the north. And in the morning, he sets out on his journey. He does know not why. He does not know what he is to accomplish there. He only knows that he must go. And by going there, finds something that he has to do and sees that it was the hand of destiny pushing him towards the accomplishment of that purpose, which inspired him to go to the north. So that's that magnet. And we find that people who go to the north, as this person mentioned, they discover their life purpose. They live their life in service and in bliss. Won't that be great? We'll recognize that we're really hardwired to do something very well using our talents and skill. And if you don't think you have it, you'll be amazed that your ability blossoms as you go along. So are you ready to go north? Are you ready to let this Encore magnet draw you in? It's going to be a fun ride. You're going to love it. So I want you to enjoy the travels and, hop into this introduction and all the assessments that are part of the course. So here's what I want to show you on our introduction. Let me page down a little bit. I have some questions on the Find Your Encore introduction. And the first time through, I don't want you to I want you to consider these questions and really write down the first thing that comes to your mind. So first, how frequently would you take a vacation or travel to a long desired destination if money wasn't even a determining factor? Where would you go? What would be the destination? Now let's talk about income. How much has your income increased year by year? Let's say over the last 5 years. Are you satisfied with that rate of the increase? Do you wish it would be more? Honestly, do you have a plan for the amount of income that you want in the future? What would the sources be? And again, don't think too much at this point because we're going to dig into that later. But if you had to say, I want to increase my money by 100,000, where do you think it would come from? A job, career, business? Number 3. Oh, let's stop and do 2B. This is a really cool thing. Let me bring this up. If you click on the link, this is going to take you to a personal monthly budget, and it's on an Excel sheet. And if you look at the bottom here, there are some instructions on how to use the sheet, okay? And then as you look down through, you're going to put in your costs. And right now you can say, well, okay, so my mortgage is $1,000, right? Whatever. But the house that I'm thinking of, that mortgage might be $2,000. So you just go down through and what will happen is it'll show you the difference that you need to make up for your dream. It's really cool and you can do this again and again. I actually have found folks that go through this and they realize they can do what they want to right now. That is so fun. Okay, so that's through the initial income piece. So let's love your life. So jot down just a couple thoughts on what improvements would you like to see place. take place in these areas. And think about your job or your business success. Think about vocation or career, volunteering, relationships. Are there some you want to start, stop, or improve? What about your health? Are you in a state of disease or are you disease free? Where do we want to be with that? Talk about your time freedom. If you are, let's say, heading towards retirement and you say, I really want to do something that uses my strengths and, gives me purpose, but I don't want that time commitment. Jot it down. What does it look like? What about money freedom? What does it mean when someone says to you they want to be financially independent? Does that mean they can create all the money they want? Does it mean they just cover their bills each month? Does it mean they have additional money to create foundation? What does money freedom mean to you? And finally, think about your spiritual and I'll call it other state of being, whether that might be some organized religion for you, maybe it's nature, maybe it's living purpose to God or your higher power. What is spiritual? What does that mean to you? So if you go over these different areas of your life, just start with a couple words. And again, don't worry, we're going to get in deep detail through this course. Right now, I just want to give you a launching off point. So once you complete those 3 areas or the 8 areas, ask yourself then, now, is there a problem or a recurring concern that you would love to eliminate from your life? What might that be? It may be self-image. Maybe there's a problem that you're working too many hours. Perhaps you can't release weight. Maybe you don't have the best relationship with your adult kids that you like. So what is the problem? And then what's holding you back from conquering that challenge? What do you think it is that's holding you back? I think you probably know. Sometimes we don't either want to see it or feel we have the strength to tackle it. Number 5, how much money would you have to earn to eliminate all the financial concerns in your life, especially if the problem or concern is financial? So if you go back to our budget spreadsheet, this is a great place to start. And again, you might find you don't need more money. You can tackle it now. Number 6, if you could spend your time doing what you love, what would it be? I find that sometimes people don't even know what to say to this because they don't allow themselves to. They feel they don't deserve it. They don't believe they can do it. It doesn't matter. If you could spend your time doing what you truly love, what would it be? When I was back in the corporate world, and doing the 50 hours a week plus, and, the grindstone and the boss and all that, I thought, if I had all the time and all the money, what would I do? And I love, as you can imagine, personal development, self-growth. Oh, I would just read and study it all day. How am I supposed to make a life out of that? There's a way. So think about what your day would look like from the time you get up till the time you go to bed. For me, I would get up in the morning, and this is what I do. And start by doing a little reflection and think about what I'm grateful for throughout the day. And I speak to God and talk about all the things that I'm wanting the day to bring. I do some exercise, do some stretching, and then I get into self-growth, self-image, helping people, coaching clients, and loving it all the way. Adding in some time, 4 o'clock, my watch goes off and says it's time to exercise, it's time to play, and then we go from there. So what would your day look like if you could spend your time truly doing what you love each day? 7, is there a contribution that you'd like to make to society? Would you like to do volunteer work? Would you like to make financial donations? Is there a special way you'd like to be in greater service? Just jot a few notes to capture it for later. And then I want you to ask yourself, you know, we can show you through this course and our coaching how you can accomplish this. We can show you how to accomplish all the objectives. You're going to need to be willing to do it. A couple questions we'll ask ourselves when we're talking about goals. Are you able to do it? Of course you are. You have potential far more than you can even imagine. But are you willing? Are you willing to take the time to do it? So if you are willing to make these changes, we are all about it. So how much time do you need to do this? You know, if you just spend 1 hour per day, 1 hour per day on this course and your self-growth, at the end of 30 days, think how much further you'll be. And at the end of a month, in 6 months, you'll need a telescope to look back at who you were when you started. So I'm so super excited for you to answer these questions and get yourself started with this introductory module. I think you're going to love it. It'll give you a jumping off point till we get together again. And again, thanks so much for joining in. This is Jane Miller. Let's go find your encore. Okay?